I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, peace and safety to the hopefully elect, all the sincere Akim, scattered throughout the four corners, pushing this word out of a pure heart in sincerity and in truth. For those who don't know, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai, that's the name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is another edition of biblical interpretation, and in this edition, I'm going to go into what happens after death. The first precept I want to get is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and start at verse 20. And it reads, all go into one place, and that all is referred to the righteous and the unrighteous. All are of the dust, and all turn to the dust again. So that's that place. Basically, when you die, when you give up the spirit, rather you righteous or unrighteous, all flesh go back to the dust. Verse 21, it says, who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth up? Now the spirit goes up to him that gave it, which is the Most High. Reading on, it says, and the spirit of beasts, referring to animals that goeth down to the earth. So that concept of hell that you learned in this world through Christianity, through religion, teaches that the evil, the wicked, goes underground, downward, which that's madness. That's a private interpretation and is not biblical. Verse 21 again, it says, who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward? So that's where your spirit go, upward. And the spirit of beast that goeth downward to the earth. So now let's get another precept and stay in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 7. And it says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. And we know that's referring to all, righteous and unrighteous. And the spirit shall return unto the power who gave it. And that's an example of the spirit going upward. All right? Because the Most High gave the spirit. And once you give up the spirit goes back to the heavenly realm. But there's a separation for the righteous and the unrighteous in the heavenly realm. And I'm going to show you that through the next precept here in the book of Luke. The book of Luke chapter 16 and start at verse 19. And it reads, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared scrumptiously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. So that certain rich man basically is referring to the unrighteous. All right, and you have Lazarus, which Lazarus will be your righteous. All right. So read on verse 21. And desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. Verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died. Now I want to look up this word died to show you that it's referring to Lazarus literally dying. It says to die of the natural death of man. It says here in the Strongs to die, be dead, death. Alright, so this is referring to Lazarus, alright, the beggar, literally dying. So reading on verse 23, and it says, and in hell Salakia, verse 22. It says, and it came to pass that the beggar died, and we know this is referring to Lazarus literally died, and was carried by the angel into Abraham's bosom. All right, and Abraham's bosom is referring to that rest. All right, for the righteous. All right, that's Abraham's bosom. Now, reading on, it says the rich man also died, meaning literally to die, and was buried, and in hell lifted up his eyes, being in torments. So now I want to look up this word torments. And as you can see here on your screen, it says torture, torment, pain, of the pain of disease, of those in hell after death. All right. So let's see here. It says torture, torment. So like we read in Ecclesiastes, all flesh go back to the dust where it came, referring to the righteous and unrighteous. And the spirit goes upward to the Most High who gave it. And we know Lazarus, which represents the righteous, he went into Abraham's bosom after he died, meaning into that rest. And the rich man, who's referred to as the unrighteous, he went into torment. So there's a separation. All right. So it says, being in torment, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And Lazarus in his bosom. So Lazarus was in that rest, man. All right. Let's get a precept right quick in the book of Revelations and prove that further. So this is Revelation chapter 16. Revelation chapter 6, Salakia, and in verse 9. So this is Revelation 6 and 9. And it says, and when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls, the spirits of them that were slain for the word of the power and for the testimony which they held, referring to the righteous men. All right. So verse 10, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? Verse 11, which is the point, it says, and white robes were given unto every one of them, every one of the righteous. All right, those who kept the word of Yahweh and had the testimony of Yahweh Shai, referring to the righteous. So it says, and white robes were given unto every one of them. Not everybody, man. All right. Let's read on and prove that point further. It says, and it was said unto them, to the righteous, that they should rest. And that rest is referring to Abraham's bosom. All right. The same place Lazarus went. All right. So it says that they should rest yet for a little season. Remember, the rich man, after he died, he went into torment. He didn't go into that rest. All right. So it says that they should rest for yet a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that shall be killed, literally killed, as they were, should be fulfilled. So that rest, Abraham's bosom, is only for the righteous, man. It's not for the evil, for the unrighteous, for the wicked. All right. Remember, the wicked go into torment. All right. So let me get another precept in the book of Job and prove that point even further. So this is the book of Job, chapter 3. And I start at verse 11. And it says, why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck. For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept then had I been at rest, because Job is the righteous. All right. So that the Abraham's bosom. All right, as we read about Lazarus going into Abraham's bosom, receiving that rest. All right, just like Job, it says, "Then had I been at rest and not torment," because what we learn in this world, the wisdom of this world, teaches us that when you die, you go to the heavenly realm and basically go to paradise and rest in peace. But that's not the case for the wicked, man. All right, the wicked don't rest in peace. They go into torment. All right, that peace is only for the righteous, man. And let's read on and prove that. It says, with kings and counselors of the earth, which you have righteous kings and counselors, all right, which build desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as a hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. There, meaning in the spiritual realm, there the wicked cease from troubling. Why? Because they're in torment. All right, there's a separation between the righteous and the righteous and the unrighteous. Remember, Lazarus went into Abraham's bosom, and the rich man, he went into torment, and that's that separation. So it says, there the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. The weary, the example of the weary is Lazarus. All right, him going into Abraham's bosom is that rest. All right, so this is 18. There the prisoners rest in Abraham's bosom together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor, which is the unrighteous, because there's a separation. All right, it says, verse 19, the small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master, because of that separation. Now I want to go back to the book of Luke and pick up at verse 24, and it says, and he cried, referring to the rich man, and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in the water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. All right, so torment, the rich man went into torment. All right, he didn't go into Abraham's rest. He didn't go into Abraham's bosom. All right, so the wicked don't rest in peace, man. All right, they go into torment. And let me get another precept in the Apocrypha to prove that point even further. This is the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And I start at verse 7, and it says, and everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape his works, and by faith whereby ye believe. And that's those who are going to be rest in Abraham's bosom. All right, those with faith, those that believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, that rest is not for the wicked. Let's prove that. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them. And the them is referring to those who receive that rest, those white robes, those who kept the word of Yahweh and the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Those are the sanctified. So it says, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Verse 9, then shall they be in pitiful case, which have abused my ways. And now that's referring to the unrighteous, those who abuse the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it says, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Just like the rich man. All right? Just like the rich man. Torments. Reading on verse 12, for such as in their life, remember the rich man died, and this is referring to after death. After you give up the spirit, remember all flesh go back to the dust where it came, and every spirit go upward to the Most High who gave it. But there's a separation, all right? There's rest and there's torment. So it says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they have loathed my law while they yet had liberty. And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. And that's referring to the unrighteous. All you people that oppose the word of the Lord, man. That despise the word of the Lord. All right. Verse 12, which is the main point. It says, the same, referring to the unrighteous, must know it after death by pain. And that's that torment, man. So the wicked is not resting in peace, man. Okay? Let's get another precept. One last precept. Let's see. Book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 13. And it says, and I heard the voices from heaven saying unto me, right blessed are the dead which die in the Lord. Referring to the righteous, man. All right? The ones that die in the Lord, man. From henceforth, yes, saith the Spirit, that they may rest. That they may go into Abraham's bosom, man. That's that rest. From their labors and from their works do follow them. So your works on earth, your faith in the Lord, going to follow you, man, to the heavenly realm once you give up the ghost. Not like the wicked. Their works going to follow them also. And they're going into torment after death by pain. Just like the rich man. All right? So they're not going to rest in peace, man. All right? Let's see here. Let's go back to the book of Luke, chapter 16. And let's pick up at verse 26. So this is Luke 16:26, and it reads, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed. So there's a separation, all right, in the heavenly realm between the righteous and the unrighteous. Remember, the righteous go into that rest, which is Abraham's bosom, and the wicked go into torment. All right, this is referring to after death. All right, so it says, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot. Remember what we read in the book of Job. The wicked cease from troubling. Why? Because there's a separation. So it says, neither can they pass to us that will come from thence. Verse 27, then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my house, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. All right, so for the unrighteous, after death is torment. All right, everybody don't rest in peace. All right, everybody don't go to Abraham's bosom. Everybody don't go to paradise. All right, so for you people that oppose and contrary and adverse against the words of the Lord, that torment is waiting for you after death. And I hope you brothers was edified. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.